YouTube, what's up, family? What's good with it, y'all? What's with it? I always peace and blessings and good positive energy every time I get to send a message to y'all. So you'll never see me like trying to spread no negative energy towards y'all. I know it's a whole lot going on right now, so ain't nobody got time for no negative. With that being said, in the meantime, in between time, you know how I do it. I'm just go ahead, jump straight off into it, right off the diving board. Now, y'all, alright, a little bit of history about this video. November 3rd was my auntie birthday, which is my auntie, TT, my mom's sister. So, of course, she passed away in 2018, I believe, from breast cancer, and she was very near and dear to my heart. So, around November the 3rd, her birthday is sad because when you think of one lost loved one, you start thinking about all of them, and all my people, they start leaving us back to back. So from her, it led to me thinking about my dad. Our last words. This was during COVID. My dad, me and him, we became cool probably like when I was almost grown. I felt like I was with my grandma, even with my mom. I grew up with my grandparents, so I carried this little anger in my heart, feeling like didn't nobody want me. I carried a grudge towards my mom, and I carried a grudge for my dad. Right when COVID hit, my dad was cool. He was grade A1. Me and him cool. He called me Junior and everything. I forgave him after a long time. And then I remember one day he got sick. And he went to the hospital and stuff. And we was texting. And I was like, Pops, you alright? And everything. And he was like, yeah, I'm cool, Junior. I'm cool. They can't hold a Mac down or upset the song he was saying. It was funny. It was real funny. He was just in good spirit and all that. And I was like, I love you, man. It's cool. That was my last time talking to my dad. After that, I think something happened with his throat, COVID stuff, and they had to do the tracheotomy stuff, and I never seen him again. He passed away. And so, thinking about that, I thank the Lord that I forgave my pops, because a lot of the time at funerals, people be sad because they really, really are hurt by the death, but I'm gonna be one thou wow. I'm gonna be a whole honey bun with y'all. Most of those people y'all see acting all crazy at the funeral, falling on the ground, that be them folks that the guilt eating them up. I'm just gonna be a thou wow with y'all. People that had a chance to forgive, and their ego was so strong that it lasted to the person they was supposed to settle their differences with died, family members and all that. And see, then they get to the funeral crying because they miss them, but then it'd be more guilt. They falling out on the floor and all that because you didn't reconcile it. So that sign, along with me watching Joel Osteen just pop up on my feed and talk about forgiveness, I figured I had to go ahead and create this video for y'all. So this is signals. I told you, spiritual. Those signals let me know it's time to move. So I'm moving, and this is another passionate video about forgiveness, because now that I think about it, what if I hadn't forgave my dad, ever? And then, I went through my mom. Like, I had to forgive my mom too. And I was a teenager probably when I ended up moving with her. And I had something called middle child syndrome. You know, I'm the middle child, so I had a lot going on, and I didn't know what middle child syndrome was until I was grown, I think. So who knows what I was displaying, you know? But I forgave my mom and my dad. I'm just so thankful I forgave my dad. Even with me and Big Nizzles, you know, we had our differences and everything, but we settled our differences. And my last words, the last day I seen him, he asked me to ride with him, and I didn't go because I had to go to work. Our last word, I told him I love you, and he was like, I love you too, bro. That was my last time seeing my little brother. All this going on around between the period of 2018, you know, 2020. Oh man, I was going through deaths, so many deaths, but I smiled because I forgave my pops before he died. Our last words was I love you. Me and my brother always settled our differences, and our last words was I love you. The spirit is peaceful, and I got two loves. Last word, not many people could end on love notes. That's very special to me. So, with that being said, I want to name this. I just want to say, don't hold on to the hurts, people. Young people, old people. Sometimes your parents hurt you, and you carry that. You carry that throughout your life. Don't hold the hurts that your family has caused you. Everybody want peace. Everybody want growth. Everybody want freedom. But hear me. Whoa, hear me. You can't walk into your future dragging a past that you refuse to let go. Hello. You can't walk into your future with a past that you refuse to let go. I want to talk to y'all first off about the importance of forgiveness. And the reason I made this video is because of thinking about forgiving my parents, forgiving my pops, and then next time I know I look up, he gone. I don't want y'all to hold something against your parents, not even just your parents, but anybody in your family. I don't want you to hold something inside of you, grudges for years, based on what they did to you, you know, because sooner or later, you gonna grow up mentally, like everything blossom and bloom, and then you gonna face something that begins with a C and rhymes with unviction. So you're gonna get this conviction, and you're gonna feel guilt, you're gonna feel bad, you're gonna feel traumatized, you're gonna feel like everybody did you wrong, and then you're gonna attract that frequency, and then you're gonna attract that vibration, and then I'm gonna move you right on over to the side away from me like a chess piece. Can't bring that energy around me. So you don't want to bring that around nobody. It's toxic. And little do you know is that bitterness that we so-called carry around, like we really get back, but you just spiritual sabotage, you killing yourself, and we carry that stuff around for a long time, and then our whole entire existence become based off this. Some we know, some of us don't know. It'd be unknowing, it's subconscious, but it'll affect you. You know what I'm saying? The bitterness in your body will take root and poison your soul. It'll poison your whole spirit. And when your soul is unhealthy, toxic, all that negativity, the body follows. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll affect you like mentally and physically. My second example of making me, my signal from the universe and God that told me to make this video was watching Job He mentioned a story about a man who, I think he developed a sickness or a disease so crazy that his hands balled up like a fist, and I think this man had so much hate. He was an older man. He had so much hate towards his mom and dad for things that he kept secret. You know, he didn't even talk to them about it when he was a kid. But we're not perfect. We hold things in and we don't think they're gonna affect us, and it becomes the main thing that haunts us. So after going to church and hearing Joel speak, the man decided to go and spend time with his mom and dad and speak to them on it and talk about it and forgive them. Once he did that, his spirit was set free. The curse was, it was lifted. That parasite had left. And would you believe it or not, true story, his hand, his fist, all of a sudden it rolled back out to a hand. Real deep. Hello, let's go. Alright. When y'all decide to make that step of faith and then decide to forgive somebody who done you wrong, you might face a little setback, and you gotta be within, you gotta be in tune with yourself. You know your enemy, you know how to counter. So, perfect example. You might decide to forgive somebody who did you wrong. Now, ain't nothing worse than when you try to forgive somebody and they still don't want to reconcile. That's like a slap in the face, like a and a spit in the face type stuff. Let's go. It don't matter if they want to reconcile or not. You know why? That's because you're not forgiving for their sake. You're forgiving for yours. Come here. You gotta forgive so your own soul could remain healthy. In addition, think about it like this. They already hurt you one time. So why keep letting them hurt you by holding on to it and refusing to letting it go? Wow. Come here. They already hurt you the first time. So the more you hold on to it, then that means they keep continually hurting you. Think about that. Importances of forgiveness, y'all. I'm finna heal your spirit. I'm finna heal your soul. I'm gonna heal your spirit by sharing, because beautiful words is like food for the spirit, food for the soul. So it's only if you know the importance of forgiveness, you can put your ego aside and then understand the importance of forgiveness. Let's just go. Let's jump right off into it. First one. Forgiving it protects your mental health. It protects the mental. Control the mind, the body, and follow. So let's just say a co-worker or something at your job did something to make you mad. Now, if you decide to be bitter, you're gonna be stressed out at work, or anxiety and all that, and then like you off your square now. You done got off your square because you got resentment. And so now you at the job and you ain't even really at the job. Physically you're there, but mentally you're not there. You just only need folks property for decorations. Really, you should just stay at home. But let's just say you forgive them. Now you can still focus on your work, handle your business, and not even get caught up in that trap of the prisoner mindset. So hello, let's go. Forgiveness also aligns with our faith and spiritual disciplines, you know. If you know God and God's grace, then forgiveness should remind us that we also need grace too, and God is a loving God and forgiving God. So that aligns with the spiritual beliefs of us. We can't expect God to forgive us and show mercy if we don't, forgive our brothers and sisters. Let's go. And with that, in addition to that, it keeps your heart peaceful. It keeps your heart peaceful and at a very loving mind state, which ties back into you're not forgiven for other people's sake. You're forgiven for your sake. Because you got to protect your heart and your mind. Everything ties in together. Holding a grudge, that'll mess with your mental and your physical, And it also, holding a grudge also will wear you down physically. You frown so much you're gonna look like you're 97 when you only probably 97 minus 95 or something, which ain't number 2. But you get the picture. Wrinkles will make you older. You look old, you know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna need makeup. So don't frown, smile. Smile is beautiful, Forgiveness also strengthens your relationship. The ones that matter. Which ties back into some people, they still might not want to reconcile, even when you forgive them for something they did wrong. For what they did to you, but this ain't about them. Let's just say your significant other who you with did something to, strike your nerve, grind your gears, but he or she sincerely apologized. Right there, you have a choice. You can either forgive them and strengthen your relationship and build trust, or then you can break up with them and leave them alone and end the whole relationship based on human error. So if the relationship matter, forgive, Hold up, one more thing. Let me add on to that. On the flip side, if a person keep doing the same ish over and over, then it's gonna weaken the relationship no matter how many times you strengthen it with your forgiveness. Hello? You gotta know when to let go. But you still gotta know when to forgive and hold on. Let's go. I want to leave y'all with this, and I want y'all to remember this. This thing about forgiveness, I want y'all to remember. So, forgiveness is not saying that they were right. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you forgive them, it ain't saying that they were right. So change mindsets. You're not giving up power to them by saying that they're right. Forgiveness is saying you refuse to let their wrongs control your life. Hello? Last, through all the forgiveness, I want you to forgive yourself. We need to each forgive ourselves for all the times we accepted less than we deserve. Come here. I love y'all. Sending peace and blessings to all y'all. Every day we growing. Tomorrow will be better than we was today. And we're going to elevate. I appreciate y'all love and support. And I have another message for y'all soon. And it's from the Spirit. Be safe, y'all. One.